What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Backpackers Blitz live stream. I'm your host, Ben from Hilltop Packs.
Oh my goodness!
Can't you see the resemblance? I mean, we don't know who's who, honestly. If it
People are
wasn't,
gonna be very confused.
If it wasn't for the gray hair, we maybe would never know who is who.
I'm not gonna be able to get through this. I don't think I'm gonna be able to.
I am so happy with how this actually turned out. It was really expensive, $3 to buy some pantyhose and shove on my head so that I can be Ben. With a nice long, balding. Anyway, sorry. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is Wednesday. Yes, thank you, Doc. You are seeing double. There is two of us, and I don't even know who's who anymore.
I'm even confused.
Yeah. So clearly, Chad, I don't know who that Chad guy is, but he's not here. Something about his birthday. I don't know. I didn't realize we still did birthdays anymore, so it's okay. Anyways, everyone should join us.
Chad.
Yeah, happy birthday to Chad.
He's what, 29? I don't know.
Again.
Yeah, he's too young. Yeah. So let's talk about your outfit for a second. So
yes,
you talked to my wife.
I did. So I had messaged my wife actually to see what I was wearing today, and she maybe spied on me. This is weird. Anyways, I had Ben's wife spy on him and see what he was wearing. She was like, he's at the coffee shop right now, I'll go see what he's wearing. And she goes, it's a blue shirt, Hilltop Packs. And so I'm like, perfect, I have a blue shirt, and I just happen to have a printer and some tape, so good enough. And then I also, if everyone like my background, isn't that beautiful? So I actually got pretty close. So I had my wife take a picture at my desk and send it to me. And then through a little bit of Lightroom magic, look at that. I'm basically at home right now. Is it in your house? Is it?
This is in my basement. This is actually where Hilltop Packs kind of started. This was one of the rooms we used back then. Yeah, so now it's just a small little office for me. This is so bizarre. All right.
Ben, where's pantyhose?
Yeah, just not on my head.
Yeah. Corey, hop in here, because honestly, we have some questions, and some of those could be applied to yourself or anyone else for small businesses, because I don't know if you guys know this, but Ben owns at least one small business. And by small, I mean pretty. Thank you, Amy. Thank you. I am dressed like me today. Yes, I was feeling very me-ish. And so, yeah, I dressed up as myself.
Actually, Amy, when you get a chance, why don't you join us as well? So,
yeah,
here's a link. Amy, you can join in, and you can yell at both of us. Amy is the shop, our general manager.
She's our general manager here at Hilltop Packs, and she's funny to boot, honestly.
She's the real boss. She's the one who yells at everybody. So, but well deserved too. It's
Ben's too nice, honestly. So that's what we needed, someone that would crack down, and that's why I hired Amy. She's a bang up girl.
Okay, so we're going to be asking each other questions, and I came with my questions way before I knew you were going to be me.
1 sec, I can't. I'm deaf. Oh, my old age. Okay, there we go. I'm good again. Sorry, continue.
So we're going to bring Corey in here. There you go. There we go. So we're going to be asking each other some questions, get to know each other just a little bit. This is going to be kind of strange since I'm talking to myself. So I'm not sure how we're going to. There's Amy. There we go.
Hi, Amy.
Hi.
It's good to see you again. I haven't seen you since today, at the shop there. So
I'm not sure how we're going to. I got to pause something here. There we go.
Good deal.
Perfect.
Okay.
I think I'm back on now.
We can hear you just perfectly. Good deal. Looking good as ever, brother. So we are going to be asking each other some questions, and we're going to have Amy kind of chime in and ask Devin or Ben number 2 some questions. Or you can ask us to either one of us as well. We may shoot some questions back at you. So I actually want to ask, one of the questions I was going to ask you was about you and your wife. But now it's really awkward.
Our wife, Ben, our wife.
If you don't know, I actually photographed Devin's wedding. I've mentioned it a few times on the live stream here, but he's from Canada. He met himself an American wife, and he married her, and they drug her back up to Canada. So, real quick, how did you meet that wife? Not my wife. How did you meet my wife.
I've never actually met your wife. So, however, my wife I met in Jamaica. And so that's where we had met. And then we had kind of talked online afterwards. And then and then COVID hit. So it was like 3 years of talking online before we could actually see each other again in person. So
what were you doing in Jamaica? What was it? Was some kind of outreach thing or something? What was it?
no, it was just like a church event. There was a bunch of people there. And so, yeah, it was really funny because Sarah and I knew a bunch of each other's friends and we all knew each other's friend group, but never actually met each other and had been in the same place several times. So just didn't know that we, existed.
Very cool. Okay, your turn to ask a question.
Ben number 2. Thank you, Doc. I appreciate it. Very funny, by the way, too. So, Trail Days. You were just at Trail Days. Corey wasn't there, unfortunately.
Nope.
It's a long way away.
You went all the way to Europe for HangCon or something, but you couldn't even come to Trail Days.
Yeah. It looked good. Ben's trip looked really nice. What he was posting out there along the way.
It was crazy, and I talked to Amy a little bit about this, but the fact that everybody there that I spoke to actually knew who Hilltop Axel was kind of blew my mind. I know we've been working at this for 5 going on 6 years and working really hard to get our name out there. I think I was just caught off guard by how well that was received with this group of hikers out there. These are through hikers. These guys are out there every day, and the fact that they knew who Hilltop Axel was very validating, and it kind of caught me off guard. I was almost emotional about it when I went back to the hotel because I didn't sleep in a tent. I slept in a hotel, but I came back to the shop and was talking about Amy. It was surreal how many people actually knew who we were, and even the other vendors. I cannot wait to get a booth there next year or whenever we can get one in. It's kind of hard to get in there, but hopefully made some waves, and we're gonna take Amy with us next year. How about that?
Maybe
She's
you could order people around. Just think, there's only a few people at Hilltop that you can boss around. Everyone at Trail Days is,
I
free,
can boss around everybody.
Yes, free range people. Yep.
Done. Sold.
Perfect.
Okay. I have a question for Amy, and this is directed towards Ben number 2. What is the hardest thing when dealing with Ben? Ben number 2.
You're scatterbrained. You're all over the place all the time.
Yeah, that one actually applies to both of us. So
I feel like it's a guy thing too.
It's a Ben thing. Yeah. Corey, are you a little bit scatterbrained?
No, I'm not scatterbrained, but I've always got 10 things on my mind. So I bounce back and forth a lot to different things.
And that's what I think.
To try to be efficient, honestly. It's like I'm already over here. I'm gonna switch up quick and do this, but it's in the name of efficiency, usually trying to get as much done as I can.
Yeah, they call that scatterbrained.
Well, it's different topic. It's focused scattering.
You both
multi-level focused.
Yeah, and that's kind of what it is. Like I get so into one project, I get overwhelmed and consumed by it that I forgot 12 more things that were going on before I even walked in that room, and so I get distracted really quickly. So it is what it is.
So this is a question for both Corey and Ben. Is this where you pictured yourself 5 or even 15 years ago doing this? Corey, I'm not sure if you do anything. Do you have another job that you do as well on the side? Making tents and hammocks.
Why would I waste time on tents?
Clearly, you're an actor as well. So
that's right. You've seen some of my work.
I actually just finished your book recently. It was really good. So
thank you. You send it to me, I'll sign it and send it back. No, full time I'm a firefighter. So what I do here in the shop, is a part-time thing here for me where I squeeze in as much as I can when I can. That's how mine is. So 15 years ago, even 5 years ago, I wasn't planning on building a whole lot of hammocks for other people necessarily. It's just kind of evolved mostly over the last couple years to where it started building and people started finding out, what the name is, there's something different, whatever it is, but 5 years ago, it wasn't that way. 15 years ago, I was barely making my own, learning to sew myself. So now this is kind of
how long have you been making hammocks for? Like
I started my own maybe in 2013 or 14 and kind of put my name to one on in 2015, I think it was. That I was at least satisfied with that as a product. I was satisfied with my sewing skill at that time. Now the Majestic has modified a couple generations since then, but I was at least going, okay, I can put it out. I'm happy with the quality because I'm really picky as to what I do and what I put out there and want to put my name to, you know. So what I've done has been around a long time, but it has not been widespread at all until the last 2 years, probably. So I'm pretty new to the game for what most people know. Yeah.
Fair enough. Ben, what about yourself? 5, 15, 10 years ago? Is this where you expected to be?
No, listen, so backstory, when I was little, I was probably maybe 9, 10, something like that. I had to write a little story, or like an essay kind of thing, I guess, about what I want to do with my life. And my mom reminded me of this about 5 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, that I actually wrote this story, the idea that I was going to change jobs every single month because I want to just learn new things and I would never have the same job. I would just keep changing jobs every other month. And I've completely forgot about that. And that's basically, you know, I was even bored back then with everything. So I think that's my problem. I get bored with one project, jump into a new one. And that's why I like things like my photography studio.
Scatterbrained.
I like Hilltop Packs. There's so many different things going on. So moving parts to keep those businesses going. That keeps my interest. And coffee. Yeah, coffee is motivating for sure.
Honestly, I'm surprised you didn't start with that one, and then that would fuel everything else. Literally, I mean, well caffeinated Ben has to be, you know, have so much extra energy to fulfill all those other scatterbrained ideas. Yeah,
the crazy thing about the coffee shop is it's, you know, you build a system, and Amy goes up there quite often as well, but you build a system that's supposed to be accommodating for people who want to make that part of their routine, like every day. And so working on that is, I don't want to say it's boring to me, but I love like Hilltop Packs. I like the photography studio. I like Apex Giant. The coffee shop, I love it because I like coffee. But that routine, if I had to work in the coffee shop every day with the same people coming in, I would lose my mind probably.
We don't have much to lose, folks. So honestly, it's a good thing.
No, it wouldn't take long at all. A few minutes in, I'd be gone. But no, I didn't really plan. First of all, I don't really do like really long forecasted plans. I just more recently kind of set out a plan for the next 2 years, kind of a marketing goal to kind of hit. But that's the first time I really looked that far in the future. So I have no idea where I'm going to be in 5 years and 10 years, let alone 15 years ago. 15 years ago, I was drinking and traveling around the country, and who knows. So nope, I had no idea. Where's Chad? Chad is celebrating his birthday. He is, I don't know, probably 17 today. I don't know how old he is. I have no
something
clue
like that. Yeah.
Something like that. He is celebrating with his wife. We're lucky he's been on 3 different episodes at this point, so we'll take it.
Amy, is this where you could, you know, saw yourself in, you know, 5 years ago?
No.
Racking a whip at a backpacking company?
Definitely not.
Scaring people into it. Do you regret this decision? Answer wisely, your boss is listening.
Both of us.
No, I don't regret it.
Okay, perfect. Good.
She was working at a doctor's office before she came on board, and I, so like probably about a month, maybe a month and a half, I kept telling Amy, you're going to come work for us. You're going to come help run this company. And she was running the office. She was like the office manager, and she kept telling me no. And I think it was literally like a week before I was like, you're going to come work for us. And then she finally said, okay, last minute. It was like literally last minute. She agreed to come work for us, but she'd worked for a photography studio for like the last, was it 14 years, Amy?
13.
13. Yeah. So she's worked for us for a while. And when I thought
I'm
of
so
it,
sorry.
but when I thought of hiring some kind of manager for Hilltop Packs, she was the first person I thought of. She's a hard worker. She hustles. She is somebody who, when I walk away, she's got my back. She's got the company's back. She got the other employees' back. You know, she may yell at me a lot, and I saw that slide because she cares. She cares about the work she does. She cares about her employees, and can't say enough nice things about her to her face. Behind her back, I'll say a bunch of shit. But, yeah.
Hi, Emma.
My wife and daughter upstairs watching. Okay, she's probably very confused right now.
Which one's dad? I don't know.
2 daddies.
It's not me.
Okay, Amy, your turn to ask a question. You can ask Corey a question if you want.
I have no idea who you are, Corey. Sorry.
It's okay.
Matthew McConaughey. Come on.
Ask him.
What's your most random question you got then?
Why are guys so confusing?
We're simple, but we're deep.
Okay.
Ooh.
That doesn't work
We're
for
complicated yet simple.
That's all you get. I don't know what to say.
No, that's makes sense.
Welcome, Michael.
So can I jump in real quick? So I got to meet this gentleman right here at Trail Days. What's up, Michael? Why don't you tell us how did you enjoy Trail Days?
Yeah, it was my first time going to Trail Days as well. So,
and you hiked in a few days before, right? You actually hiked to the event, correct?
yeah, you can fly into the Bristol Airport there at Tri-Cities, which is about an hour away, 45 minutes to an hour away. And yeah, I just had a shuttle driver pick me up, drop me off at Low Gap, which is about 15 miles out from Damascus. That way I can, hike in and sleep there in the field with all the crazy people.
That was nuts. Did you go back into the woods at any point?
No.
Listen, I kept walking around thinking, where is everybody? They see 25,000 people. Where are they at? And so like during the event, I'm thinking maybe there's 10,000 here, maybe. And then I saw tents. And I was like, okay, maybe there's another, maybe a couple thousand tents here, but where is everybody at? And they're like, just wait till it gets dark. And I was like, all right. You say that like you're warning me about something. So then when it got dark
at night,
Rob's in here. Rob's in the chat. He's the one that made sure we go back into the woods. And that was wild. You see all these tent setups. I mean, all crammed into the woods. And we walked for probably 20 minutes to get to the center where the fire was, where the drums were, there's people running. And no, us old guys, we stayed on the outside fringe and just looked in. We did not go into the center of that fire pit. But I did take some pictures. But Rob, if you're in there and you want to jump in, you can. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was crazy. It was they had lights all in the trees. They had lasers going off in the woods.
It was Lord of the Flies going on back there.
Yeah, you could smell. There was a lot. You could smell some skunks around. It smelled a little funny.
You're in the woods, Ben. Obviously, there's going to be skunks there. Come on, everyone knows that.
It was wild, but like, and maybe Michael could probably back me up on this, and maybe Rob could too if he jumps in. But when you get out there, and I've never been involved in any other industry where people get together like that. It doesn't matter what your background is. We all have like the same reason for being there. Maybe slightly different, but it's like we're the same people when we get out there. I mean, Michael started talking for quite a while, and not once did we talk. We didn't really talk too much about work. It was just everyone gets along so well. I don't know how else to describe it, but am I wrong? Everybody just got along.
Everybody, yes. when you're in the hiker community and when you're around that many people, especially hikers, and especially through hikers, they all have like that same thing in common. Either they've done the trip or they're in the process of doing the trip. And even, their goal is all the same, is to get to Katahdin. So when you're around those type of people, I mean, everybody's got the same thing in common. So it's really cool.
It was really cool. And everybody, like I said, just meeting people, like I felt like I was meeting the same person over and over again. Everybody was so positive and happy and having a good time. You didn't meet anybody that was miserable. It was just everybody just having a good time. Maybe a couple of vendors were kind of bored sitting in their booths, but the hikers themselves were just
that's awesome because they're jealous of everyone else just walking around and having a grand old time.
Yeah, that's all I was thinking. Do I really want to get a booth? Here's Rob. Rob can kind of tell you a little bit about it too.
Hi, Rob.
Rob took me in the woods, and he kept giving me warnings like, "Hey, have you been in the woods yet?" And I said no, and he just kind of looked at me funny. He's like, "You're going in the woods." That was wild.
Nobody talks about what happens in the woods.
Right, Rob?
Trail Days was an absolute blast. It was so cool to kind of have Ben there, because Ben was kind of like, his kind of eyes were just
you get to watch it the first
whole
time.
And he's just like, what is happening? So not only that, but the sheer fact that Ben was walking around being Ben, a super humble guy, and people were just like, "Are you Hilltop Backs, Ben?" And he was just out of his element. And he was so uncomfortable. It was awesome to see Ben being uncomfortable the whole time. But yeah, the woods is mud, tents, fire, smoke, sweat, skunks, fires, drums, lasers, free food, snacks, debauchery. So in other words, a really good time, and everyone should go at least once.
It was really cool. And Rob, the message you sent me like a few days after was pretty cool too. I appreciate you sending me that. And I did feel like, we belong there. And I think we live in this bubble out here in Grant County at our shop. And for 5 years, we've been grinding, getting our work, get our name out there, get the gear out there. And it was overwhelming, honestly. It was just, I don't think I expected that many people to know who the heck we even were, let alone recognize me when I was out there. And it was throwing me off a little bit, and I struggled. We were having breakfast on the last day, and there was a girl in the restaurant with one of our bags, like literally holding it, standing right next to us. Rob's like, "Go talk to her." It's like, I'm a 52-year-old man. I'm not gonna talk to some 20-year-old who's hiking the Appalachian Trail like a weirdo.
And then, girl, that's a nice backpack you have there.
So I wasn't gonna say anything, but then she's standing right behind me. I'm trying to eat my pancakes. She's standing right here next to me, waiting in line for the bathroom. Rob's like, "Hey, she's right there." I was like, I look back and like, I couldn't help. I was like a little child. I flicked the bag and I went like this. And she turned around. I was like, oh shit, no, I got to talk to her. And all I said was
the bag.
All I said was,
Nice
I am so
bag.
sorry. No, my exact response was, because now I'm embarrassed. I was like, I am so sorry. We made that bag. And I was like, and she's like, are you from Hilltop Axe? And I said, yes. And then she got her whole. Then she leaves. I'm thinking it's done. It's over with. She walked away. She brought back like 5 friends to kind of hang out while I eat my pancakes. And I was like, and then now
Everyone
I'm like, okay.
he had to sign everything. I mean, honestly, I heard stories. Rob, can you confirm this that everyone wanted Ben's autograph while he was there?
Yeah, he was signing bear napkins or welcome mats. He was signing all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
It was pretty cool. And then Rob helped me out. So whenever I was checking out, I had told that group of like 3 or 4 people that came to our table, I said, if you guys go outside and wait, I'm getting ready to leave. I have like a couple of things in my bag left over. I can just give it to you. I gave Rob the keys to the motorcycle and said, here, go deal with that. I'm on film already. So he's outside. I go pay for it. 10 minutes go by. I'm thinking they're long gone at this point, right? I come outside. There's like freaking 20 people standing around a motorcycle. Rob's over there holding court with everybody. He's making them jump up and down in videos and stuff. And I was like, what is happening? So
you've been robbed is what happened. Okay.
But it was cool. It was validating. I was uncomfortable, but in a very positive, good way. I just wasn't prepared for all that. And it was absolutely one of the best experiences. I absolutely felt like we belong there. And I cannot wait to get a booth. So, but again, Rob, thank you for the kind words a few days later. That was very nice.
Yeah.
Doc,
absolutely.
were you there? Was Doc at Trail Days?
I don't believe so.
Doc is everywhere.
Doc is everywhere. This is true.
But I do know, like, I was outside giving away, food bags, electronics bags to everyone. Everyone's really excited. They like to tell their stories, about on trail. And I had a food bag made by this other company. It failed or something got stolen. So we were able to give these food bags. And what's funny is, as I was taking pictures, I'm like, all right, everyone do something crazy. And everyone's jumping and doing this kind of thing. And Ben just goes, that's it.
And I have the photo. I posted it. I think I posted it.
I missed that one. That's so funny. Did you post it to Hilltop or your page?
It's on Instagram. I might post it in a story. I'll post it. I'll post it here soon. But yeah, Rob says jumping. I was like, yeah. I'll share it with you guys.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Getting a vendor booth in Trail Days is kind of interesting. A lot of people apply, they don't get in. Some people apply right away and get in. There's kind of doesn't seem like to be a rhyme or reason to it, but a lot of it has to do with referral and word of mouth. But if Hilltop Packs is able to get a vendor booth in, there's some amazing things that will happen. So if you know anybody who gets people into Trail Days, start referring, start mentioning Hilltop Packs and get it in front of them so Ben can have a booth there. That way we can bring Buckley down. We can just have a big party. And we can just get a lot of really awesome stuff out there.
Amy's going too. And Rob, I'm not going to talk about Rob gave us a really good idea of what we could do in the booth because we're going to be a little bit different than everybody else. I already told Amy a little bit about it, I think.
Nice.
Maybe I didn't. I forget. Doesn't matter.
I've forgotten already, so honestly.
I bet if you send that photo of him with his film up to the ATC, it's
that's a no-brainer. Yeah,
they're gonna be like, "Are you the Ben from Hilltop?
Are you that low energy old guy that's not jumping in the photo?"
Perfect.
Oh my God.
That's subtle persuasion right there. You don't even need to do much.
That's it.
Just own it, man.
Just attach that picture to your application. They're gonna be like, "Yep, I like them already."
Well, I tell you there was several cool moments. And one of them, what I wasn't expecting, because I actually reached out to a lot of guys that knew they were going to be there and met up with them. And that was really cool. But I turned around and Michael was talking to, Steven, right? Steven, yes. That was cool because I wasn't expecting to meet him. I didn't know he was going to be there. And I've only talked to him a couple of times online, never really met him in person. But to see somebody that you watch on a YouTube channel and you turn around, and again, I haven't had a whole lot of interaction with them. And just to get a chance to talk to him was pretty cool. So I was geeking out over that a little bit. His channel's growing so fast.
Did you have hair curlers in?
I did not.
Then it doesn't count, honestly. Like it's just you gotta do it again.
You have to have hair for said hair curler.
That was the highlight of this live stream, by the way. The curler episode has to be one of the top. It'll forever be one of the top moments in this live stream.
Go back if you want to watch someone die inside. Watch that one.
But Michael, you got to talk to Steven for a little while, longer than I did. But he was a pretty cool guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, I reached out to Steven a while back, and we kind of I've already developed a little relationship online, so I knew he was going to be there, so we planned to meet up and get together, and I wanted to get him in a little on my video, and he asked me to do a little actually, Ben, did you tell him that you are going to be starring in one of Steven's videos?
Yeah, so Steven asked me to be in the video, and I said, "Listen, absolutely, I'll do it." I said, "But don't say Hilltop Packs. I want to help you out. So, I want to be." So he goes, "Okay, no problem." Turns the camera, and goes, "And this has been from Hilltop Packs." I went,
Nice.
I was like, all right, well, okay. Well, I respect what he's done for his channel. He's, I don't want to get free advertising. He does so much for that channel. I'm not trying to take a cheap shot. And he's put us in a few things in the past, and I certainly appreciate that. But I don't like taking advantage of situations like that. But seemed like a very down to earth guy, and he was
he's cool.
Was it a youth pastor? Is that what he was in the past? Youth pastor?
He was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you can kind of see that once you watch a few videos, it starts to kind of make sense. So, Mike, what was it? Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. I was going to say, I think that's one of the things that comes across in like YouTube videos and stuff a lot is when people are genuine people. And I mean, there are some people that you meet in person, they're, idiots like myself, but everyone else though is I don't know, especially I think maybe it's just the backpackers thing too. Like you were saying earlier about all the people you met at trail days, and it's like, yeah, okay, we're all in this for, the same reason. And I don't know, it's nice meeting everyone online and stuff because we all have pretty much the same, outlook on life or hobby, etc.
Absolutely.
Well, I'll say a thing about YouTubers. YouTubers get a lot of credit for a lot of things because like Steven, I mean, he built his channel. I mean, talk about gear and diving into the the fine details. Yeah. Amazing at it, good storyteller, and when you think about it, YouTubers are looked at as a source or an authority of information. But take it all the way back. YouTubers are a bunch of people who decided to record themselves, usually with a cell phone, and put it on YouTube. Now, does that make us any more or less knowledgeable or professional than the next person? No, not really.
Necessarily.
We're just arrogant enough to put it on YouTube and expect people to watch. I always say on my channel, I'm just a dumbass who decided to do a bunch of stuff and share it. And if you take my words of advice, that is up to you. Yeah, it should be. I'm a dumbass on YouTube. Even you can start recording YouTube videos today.
100% the same.
So, Goat's Milk, what's going on, buddy?
Not a whole lot.
Oh, I just noticed you got little icons on your Goat's Milk. Was that there last week too?
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, that's somebody else changed my name.
Devin did that.
I would never. I'd have.
I apparently can't get away with using my real name. So.
Not anymore, buddy. Sorry.
That's all right. I was gonna put something up, but I didn't get it, so I cheated out.
Okay, Amy. So where do you think Hilltops is going to be in 2 years? What's the plan?
We're going to be millionaires.
No pressure. I like it.
And we're going to have our own TV show.
I like it.
We're on it right now. This is the beginning of the first pilot episode right here.
Okay. There was one time where we all dressed up like Ben too.
That's what made me think of this, but they did. There's a photo someplace on
for Instagram his birthday page. 1 year.
Literally everybody wore the same color shirt. They did the same thing. Put the pantyhose on the head.
Pantyhose on the head.
Everybody. There was my family was there. It wasn't just the employees. It was my family. It was.
That's amazing.
I walked in the door. Everybody had it on. It was. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
Thumbs up everywhere. Everybody.
Everybody's thumbs up everywhere.
So when I got on and I saw the pantyhose on the head, I'm going to date myself here, but the first thing that came to my mind was a line from the movie Raising Arizona when he's rocking the door and he's like, "Son, you got pantyhose on your head."
Yeah, that's a good.
So I'm not gonna lie, I was on the phone with my mother while I was trying to buy these at the dollar store, and she's like, "That's not gonna look like a bald cap." I'm like, "It doesn't have to. It just has to look like I tried." Honestly, she's like, "It's gonna look like you're trying to rob a bank or something." I'm like, "I'm not gonna pull it all the way down.
Pull it down. Pull it down."
We now 100% have to have Devin's mom.
There we go.
Oh, and second broke my glasses real good.
My goodness. There it is.
Oh my goodness.
That's perfect.
There.
Wait. Here, hold up. Oh no.
Oh, now we're all gonna have
much better.
That's like you look like a Muppet.
like a burn victim.
You kind of look like Ed Sheeran for some reason.
I look like I am actually Ed Sheeran. That's my secret identity. I can't believe you guys figured that out.
That's awesome.
I was hoping the glasses would, keep you guys guessing for a while, but
That's a nice touch. That's a good touch.
there we go. Perfect. Now I can see again.
Totally blend into the lineup.
If anybody is just jumping into the live stream, they're gonna be very
I'm
confused.
so sorry.
Yeah.
Not
Just
at all.
change your name now to anonymous at the bottom.
Just a bunch of question
I'm
marks.
gonna have to hop off here,
Yeah.
but I just wanted to say it was awesome to hang out with Ben and hang out with everyone there. And Michael, I don't know if I got to meet you or not. I don't really recall, but either way, it was an awesome time, and I kind of look forward to to see what happens next year. But either way, but I will be swinging through Pennsylvania, Ben, so I'll hit you up.
Absolutely, hit me up, man. Appreciate
See you,
you.
Rob.
See you, boys.
I appreciate you as a friend. Oh, hold up.
Hold on,
There
I
you
can't
go.
hear. What?
Said Rob's tent looks nice in the background.
My tent?
That's not Rob.
Yes, it is.
Tent. This is Rob right here.
I know. I was being sarcastic. He's not in his car tent. I said his tent looks nice.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
right, exactly. I'm actually in a house.
Come on camera.
With walls.
Is that Mrs. Ben?
This is Mrs. Ben. She's
This is my
afraid to come on
wife.
camera.
No, he's Mr. Kaylee.
She's afraid she'll get too famous. Come over here. Come here. This is my lovely wife. Come on
Hey,
over here.
Ben's wife.
Hi,
Come
Kaylee.
Hey, Kaylee.
Come on. She's gonna be on the show one day.
I don't think
One
she
of these
exists.
days.
All right.
She's
She
not a real
does.
person. That was
She's
totally a
real.
fake arm. I was just. By the way, if you, Amy, I ordered 2 full-size mannequins for the shop. So when they show up,
Mannequins?
there's a male
Oh,
and a
man.
female. Yeah, it's not for my own personal enjoyment. It's for the shop. We're gonna dress them up in some of the new. We have some new shirts coming in. Like
Nice.
we're working on some
There's something wrong with you.
sun hoodies. We got some of those coming in.
Yep.
Working on got some samples coming in. We're working on a few things.
Are these Hilltop
Yeah.
Pack Sun hoodies?
Mhm.
Yes.
Fancy.
We're gonna have some that have some patterns, some that are just straight up black and some gray, but some have some patterns. And then we're gonna do like little mini releases of some different patterns. And I'm also hopefully working with Town Shirt. They're gonna do a line of just shirts just for us, exclusively for us. So hopefully we can work that out too. I know I probably should be talking about it already, but this is
What?
probably 2 months away from
Breaking news,
actually
everybody.
breaking news. So
You know,
I've wanted to do that for a while.
I would like to try them out in Montana.
Perfect. Good deal. We'll send you out one. Since you've
You
been
know,
on the show enough times.
I'll buy one. I swear.
So, do
Oh,
you
no,
think
we'll hook you up?
you think
Just
you'll ever
just
get
remind
to
me I
the
said
point?
that.
You think you'll ever get to the point where you will have custom printed sun hoodies?
Yes, that is the plan. So I've already got some designs already made, and I'm trying to decide if I'm going to have someone else design them. Print them and make them, or if we're going to maybe eventually make them in house. Right now, we're getting someone else to actually make them for us, but I can send them the designs because they are going to
Nice.
print them and then cut them and then sew them for us.
That's
Our first batch will be here in like 5 to 6 weeks of like our test batch. I think it's only 48 pieces, 72 pieces. I forget what it is. It's nothing crazy. But then I got some just regular black and gray ones too to try out. Slightly different designs for each one. But I'm excited because I've wanted to get into it. But all the guys on trail days, they all had like the crazy colors and whack, which is great. It's just not me. Can you see me walking around with palm trees and fish, whatever it was? I was gonna say fish.
Whoa,
stick. That's
hold
not
up.
right.
What's wrong with fish? What do you have a problem with
Oh, yeah.
salmon?
So I did buy one. Yeah, I have a problem with salmon. I have
one with Ben doing the thumbs up.
yeah, just a bunch of thumbs.
Just a bunch of just the cutouts of you.
Thumbs all over.
I can't hear when you're talking. I have headphones on.
I'm gonna get your face,
Is that the mannequin?
my face on your shirt.
Yes, it's the mannequin. The mannequin's speaking back to me right now. If you're gonna be in here, you got to get on camera. I can't talk to you and them at the same time.
He's not
There's-
real.
There are 17 listeners that cannot. I don't want to be distracted and ruin it for them. It's all about those 17 people.
Yeah, there's 17. That's like a lot of people.
17 plus minus the 6 that's here, so there's only 11. Okay, Corey. So, what kind of trips do you have coming up, buddy? Now that you're back.
Yeah, the next one will be just like a local one here in central Iowa. We do a family reunion every year, so it's south of Des Moines. We'll be camping for a weekend, kind of together with family. So nothing big beyond that.
Explains why I wasn't invited. Okay. I get it.
What's that?
Explains why I wasn't invited. I started to feel bad for a second.
No, it's in the mail. Your invite. They're special.
Snail mail.
Special.
I might be buying one of your hammocks. I've been trying to get one off of Chad, but he's busy or not busy or whatever he's
Yeah,
doing.
right.
Sure.
He's got something going. All
Yeah.
He's
the
either
time.
trying to kill his family or having a birthday. It's hard to
Packs as
tell.
well. So we're on the same page here.
I think we can work something out. Absolutely.
I bet we can. I bet we can.
Let's talk for sure. I think you've been on the show more than Chad has at this point.
Well, I try to avoid the shows that he's on, so
We all do, honestly. It's
this is kind of his birthday gift to us, not being on, right?
Yes.
So it's gonna.
Thanks, Chad, out there. No,
I was gonna say if Chad does watch this over, he's gonna be like, I hate those guys. They're the worst. You know.
He ain't watching
okay,
this.
Chad.
You know he's not watching.
We love
this
you.
show.
If you do watch this, Chad, we do love you and we miss you. And it's been so long, and we feel neglected.
maybe next week.
You need to come back.
Right.
I'm really disturbed looking at the background in your room as you're speaking. It's really kind of crazy. So, Amy, I want to make Amy a more permanent part of the show. What do you guys think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think she's doing a wonderful job.
I think me, Devin, Amy, and Chad should be the regular spot, and then Chad once every 2 or 3 months can be on. I think Amy is funny. She's
inappropriate.
She's very inappropriate. that could be funny. Just don't get us canceled.
Where are you hiding, Amy? You're in the
I'm in my
dungeon.
bedroom.
Oh,
Just in bed.
I got you. It's a headboard.
Yes.
That makes sense.
So
Looks like a
Fire heads on it.
Yes.
So Amy, what convinced you to leave your job? I know this has been 5 years at this point, but what convinced you? Because I struggled to convince you that this was a good idea. Because at the beginning, we had no
honestly,
idea
it wasn't a good idea, and yet you still managed to show up. And
so basically, how much did you hate your other job for you to take
I
this risk?
didn't hate it. I was nervous about coming on with you because there was no guarantee of like future there. So it was like, not that we weren't hopeful, but it wasn't like guaranteed.
there
Like
still isn't. I'm
this was
sorry.
this was right when COVID started. Like,
Yeah, it was
and
terrifying.
it was closer to home, so it was saving me money on gas.
Was it late
That's the whole
2020?
reason.
When did you come out? Late
Yeah, it was like
2020?
October.
Yeah. And I remember talking, it was like, we need someone like you to make this work. I need somebody that when I turn around and walk away, that I don't have to stress about it. I ain't worried about being perfect. I worry about getting it done. And somebody who cares enough to fix the problems when they do pop up. And so that's I'm done complimenting you tonight. Because then tomorrow you're just gonna kick my ass.
That's it.
So I'm out. I'm done.
Really, you can
That's
sign
my turn.
autographs. So the least you could do is compliment me.
That's true.
Amy, what's your actual role there?
I just tell everybody I'm Ben's boss.
There you go.
I thought that was Kaylee. Isn't that actually Kaylee's listed
She's the boss
role?
at home.
Fair
She's
enough.
yeah. So Kaylee's my home boss, and Amy's my work boss.
There you go.
Not a work wife, a work boss.
There you go. There you go.
No, from very early on, Amy knows that she's allowed to tell me what to do. That's the way we work things around there. I have certain roles, and she oversees all production. And if there's something that I'm holding up, she's able to tell me that without me getting mad or upset. And she enjoys it a little bit too much sometimes.
Well, that's how you build a good team, though. That's awesome. That's good.
I'm telling you, I can't stress enough about the people and here in the coffee shop with the roastery, even like Diane. I mean, she at a coffee roaster, she has no problem coming back and say, "Hey, you screwed this up. You got to fix this." I like that they're able to do that. I want them to feel like I work for them, not the other way around. Does it feel like that, Amy?
When you work, yes.
What was that?
Board with hash marks.
No,
on
it is. It's nice. Like, you're there when we need you most of the time. Like, you're just a phone call away when there is a big thing that we need your help with. But
I'm always there. But there's a guy that I follow a lot, and for years that's been his thing. Is like, to really build a strong team, flip the management style around on its on its head, and you want to be able, instead of you have your lowly employees, you have your managers, and you have the upper management, whatever. Make it so that it's the other way around. I work for Amy, and the other employees. It's kind of the same concept, and it works. It works pretty well. We can talk about
Decentralized command.
Yeah, I like it. So let's get back on track here. Let's ask some questions. So, Devin, what's your next question?
I didn't know there was a track. Is there a
I
track?
have so many questions.
We have a very loose track. You can ask
like
Corey
that.
a question. How about that?
Don't ask. What do you got?
together with zip ties.
What? Actually, this one's for Amy. What's the most rewarding part of what you do?
Not being on here. It's
Well,
not.
then you picked the wrong day. Okay, so
No, probably just like being able to have my kids at work. And like my daughter was back there helping Ben today and she came and got a label. She's like, oh, he messed up. I'm going to take him back 3. I'm like, good idea.
Your 9-year-old daughter's ratting me out. I made a mistake. And I was too lazy to walk across the room to get it parked. So she got us right.
Yeah, it's just
That's so
nice
funny.
that he's like, I don't know, like a uncle figure. Like he calls them weirdos and they do it back. Like it's easy.
loving abuse. It's
Yes.
a wonderful thing.
That's a good way to put it.
I don't know why I enjoy that. When someone burns really hard, I really enjoy it. Like when you turned the camera on before the show started and I saw what you did, that made me so happy. It's like, I'd love people to take the extra mile for just a couple of laughs. Even if it's not funny, the effort behind it is just totally worth it.
Yeah, good try there today.
Thank you. Thank you. I would
It's really
actually,
creepy.
I'm going to read really quick what Ben's, the fun fact under Ben on hilltoppacks.com says. It says, Ben tells jokes that only he, and on a good day, maybe like one other person in the room finds funny. He claims he's okay with that. That's currently me. So I don't know if that's me or Ben. So I was trying to see what Kaylee's actual title was, but it just says hates hiking. Besides HR and payroll, she also manages RP. I thought she was like manager of Ben or something like that, and I was really hoping it was there.
I think he used to say, read what Amy says. Read Amy's.
Oh, one sec.
Like the duck herding community, I think.
Amy yells a lot, usually at Christian. Amy's also pretty famous in the competitive duck herding community.
I do yell a lot.
No, I made all these things like 5 years ago, and I honestly forgot what some of them even said. And I'll get phone calls, like we'll do Zoom calls or phone call from other vendors that are trying to sell me something, and they will bring up something on the website that I had forgotten about for years. And they'll be like, I was on a very serious call, and what was it for? Just last week, I'm trying to think, and they basically mentioned that they were scoping out the website, and they got to my photo of me and my wife where I have her face scratched out. On her profile, it's my face is scratched out. And this lady told me she laughed so hard that her coworker said to see what she was laughing about. And it was like a real, what the heck was the call about? I don't know if it was a marketing thing. I forget what it was even about, but anyway. So
I'm gonna be honest, that makes me laugh every time I see it. And when I was on the website trying to find, a logo that was large enough that I could print it off. I was also trying to find pictures of your shop because this is what I was gonna do for my background was just use the shop and be like, hey, look at that, I'm outside of the store. And but thankfully Kaylee came in and took a picture of the room, and through some magic of editing, I made it Ben's room. But
I can remember about a year ago,
and I had to laugh at that because it makes me chuckle.
About a year ago, Jen, she pulls all the orders and prints them out and just takes them to everybody who needs them. Maybe there was an order one time and it said, "Tell Jen I like dolphins too." And I read it and I was like, "What the hell does this mean, Jen?" And I literally took it to Jen. I said, "Jen, what the hell does this mean? You like dolphins?" Or to tell Jen he likes dolphins too, and she's like, "Because you have it on my profile on the website." And I did it like 3 years earlier and I forgot all about it. So. I'm surprised people even read that.
I've read through it whenever I was like going through a website, and I had a good laugh at all of it because it's just so random and I don't know, my sense of humor.
Okay, so
Corey, what is the hardest piece of gear to make for yourself, or what's the hardest part of making hammocks that's that you don't like?
Probably the bug net side of it all. Because just the stretchiness of that material, that kind of thing, it's a lot more challenging to deal with. So probably my least favorite part of it. And it doesn't give me a whole lot of creative outlet in building of them. So it's kind of monotonous and, it's a good product. It does what it's supposed to do, but it's a challenging one to build and not a lot of flair to it,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's just a bug net.
What's your favorite part of does exactly what it's supposed to do. Nope.
What's your favorite part of making hammocks then, or like what part of the hammock is you enjoy? You said that you can't be creative in it. What part of a hammock can you be more creative on?
Well, with like your color combos between the fabrics and stuff, it's kind of like in Hilltop Packs. But like when you're designing with different color options, and the whole final visual thing becomes something different than you've done before. That's the part I like about it, because all my stuff is custom done. So it's for whomever is ordering it and wants this. They want this color here, this thing here, this thing here. That's the part that gets really kind of cool, because most of them I have not done that exact combo before. So when it all gets kind of put together, you can start visualizing and seeing what the final deal is going to look like. That's actually a lot of fun for me. That's a neat part of it.
What's your favorite color combo that you've done?
Oh crap. As a base color, probably the Moroccan blue. I love that color combo with like a majestic orange or white. Yeah, I think that's probably one of my favorites right now, currently.
Nice. Ben,
Yeah.
Any questions for anyone?
Oh man, I should have looked something over here. Okay, so we're switching up a little bit. This is just an oddball question. First of all, I used AI. I'm not gonna lie. I like this one. I'm gonna go around to everybody. Okay, if you could invent a holiday, okay,
Oh boy,
what would it be? Let me see. What's the question? What would it be, and how would people celebrate? So think about it for a second. I'm gonna go around the horn here. So if you're gonna invent a holiday, and you're gonna take a day off from work, and while you're thinking of that, we're gonna bring in this new guy. There he is. Welcome
to
the show,
Brian.
Hey, first time here.
I like it. So we're gonna invent holidays. We're gonna invent some holidays. I'll invent one. We're gonna invent a sewing holiday. I don't know. I just couldn't think of anything else. So we're gonna go to Amy. If you could invent any holiday, what would it be, and how would people celebrate your holiday?
I don't like this question.
Okay, time's up. Goat's milk. Would it be something related to goats or milk?
Maybe a combination of the same.
It would be a Tim Buckley day, and you just walk around all day going,
Yes, yes. You win. Yeah, no one's gonna beat that. That's a great holiday. We all dress up like Tim Buckley, and we all just frozen faces all day.
He did give me the name Goat's Milk, so I think it's
ready. On the count of three, everybody do your best Buckley on the count of three. 1, 2, 3, go.
Poor Tim.
We love you.
Not
Tim.
his fault. He has poor internet.
Poor internet. That's gonna be his new trail name. Poor internet, Tim. Poor internet.
Don't feel bad for him. He's living his best life.
He is. He's actually working tonight, so he couldn't be here tonight. So we're letting him slide.
I was gonna say, where's he at tonight?
He had to work.
Impaired.
Yeah, he said the next few weeks will be fine. But he had to work tonight, so he had to cover a shift for somebody. So no big deal.
We love
Okay,
you,
Brian, you're gonna invent a holiday. How would people celebrate that holiday?
Let's see. Let's go with National Arcade Game Day. So just play old school arcade games.
Nice.
I like that's a good one.
That is a good one.
There used to be a barcade near where I worked before, and it was kind of fun, honestly. Just go in.
Dude, I love those.
It was so much fun.
It is.
That's way better than Amy's answer. Okay, Corey, you're next. Name a holiday, and how would people celebrate it?
Man, I'm gonna go with some sort of hammock hanging holiday, obviously, but we're gonna eat a lot of bacon.
Alliteration, love it. Oh, National Bacon and Hammock Day.
I'm in. I don't personally do enough of either anymore, so I think that would be a great way to spend a weekend.
That's a good one. That's tempting.
This is a complete aside, but has anyone else seen Dutchware Gear's banana hammock?
Yes.
No.
I bought one for my buddy for his birthday, and I have a picture of it on my Instagram somewhere. Bacon and Bourbon Day, love it. But
where did you see Dutch in a banana hammock?
Not in one. No.
No, I saw I actually have seen my friend in a banana hammock. Oh, that's yeah.
I got a funny bacon story. So
I found the wrong podcast.
Here's a good bacon story. So it's actually not very good, but I thought it was funny. So I was married
give it
before.
a thumbs up.
Thank you, appreciate it. No, it's not even that great of a story. I just thought of it though. I was married before, got a divorce, started dating, and a lot of the dates were just disasters. Okay, they were terrible. But I meet this girl for a date, and we met, and we're gonna go to this bar, and we actually met outside like a block away. And immediately she was so freaking annoying. It was like, how am I gonna get out of this? It was terrible. So we walk to the bar. As soon as we walk in, we sit down at the table, start talking, order our drinks, and then this lady brings out the waitress brings out a basket of bacon. I was like, what the hell is this? and she was saying it's a draft beer and bacon night. And I must have that date lasted like 2.5 hours because I kept eating all the bacon. I didn't hear a word she said, but bacon's so good, it'd make your date good. You know?
Oh man,
Best worst date ever.
But 2 hours in, she finally went to the restroom, and I snuck out with a piece of bacon in my hand. I left. I rolled out. I'm so mean.
Oh, that's so funny.
Okay.
See, that is a good story. I don't know why you thought that was not good.
Don't you live in kind of a small town, Ben?
This was actually up in Pittsburgh where the bacon thing was. But I do live in a small town, yeah, in Waynesburg.
Go make an awkward Walmart trip.
I got a funny story about Walmart too. I'll tell you that some other time. So Devin's turn to pick a holiday. Devin,
National Take a Hike Day, and everyone, it's you have to be off. Everyone's off, and everyone just goes hiking. It can be early summer, something like that, so everyone can go and enjoy it. Or you know what, we'll do late summer where it's nice and starting to cool down a little bit more.
I like it. Okay,
I like that a lot actually.
Does anyone else have a question or third of the group? Just put a thumbs up and we'll call on you. Who has a question for the group? Amy? Goat's milk. No. Brian.
Sorry.
Brian has a question.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah, dude. Here it is. Here it is. So you got two people making and selling gear, right? So from what I was thinking is it seems like you kind of follow your passion of liking to go backpacking and loving that. And so you kind of started a gear company around the thing you love. And it seems to almost have the opposite effect that you actually don't get to do that thing as much anymore.
100%. Corey's nodding his head. Yes, we could both. I'm telling you, Corey has the same story. You get in this because you love it. Well, for one, it's not so much following your passion. Maybe Corey could back me up. I talk to a lot of young people all the time, and I sound so old when I say that. But I tell them, don't follow your passion. There's a lot of successful people that'll tell you, don't follow your passion. Figure out what you're good at first. And then people are going to start gravitating towards those things, and maybe you'll make some money off of that. You can get passionate about a lot of things, and getting that validation that you're actually good at something from someone else starts to drive passion into an area you never thought of before. So that's kind of how this started. I was kind of good at a few things. I knew how to print on stuff. I knew how to sew on stuff. That was not my passion. Neither one of those things were a passion. But I ended up being pretty good at it. And then people started buying the stuff. And then I got pretty passionate about the outdoor industry, and it kind of grew from there. But I was into hiking first before all that. And it does take away from my time to go hiking for sure. I spent more time working on the businesses, and we opened up more businesses since then that have spawned off of Hilltop. But I have done probably fewer trips since starting Hilltop than I did before. So Corey, what do you think about all that?
I would totally agree with that. I did not get into this because I loved sewing or anything. I liked being outside. I found something I was good at making, and it got my creative side going. And so I just followed kind of where that went. And when I found there was interest on the other side of it, it kind of took its own path, if you will. So that it was very unexpected for me to dabble into this to where it became even a small business as it is, was not intended in any way on the get-go of it anyway. So
for both of you guys, what advice would you have for someone who wanted to, start a small business?
Well, I talked to a lot of people, and Amy's seen it. People come in, they want to talk about small business. Maybe they have an idea. I can usually tell within 5 minutes if they're going to make it happen or not. If they start talking about they're going to have more money, they're going to take more vacations, they're going to have more free time, that shit ain't going nowhere. That person is never going to open a business. It ain't happening. Because look, Corey works a regular job. He's out there saving the world, putting out fires, then he goes home and he sews all night. Not because he has free time. I'm sure he values his free time, but he also values contributing something to the world, and that's kind of what he's doing. And I feel like I am accomplishing something too. I'm doing something for my family. I'm doing something for my friends. I'm doing something for our customers. It's very rewarding, but it's not something that's going to give you more free time and probably not more money. You'll probably end up working a heck of a lot harder. Right. You got to be willing to work 80 hours a week to avoid working 40 hours for somebody else. And that's what I try to tell everybody. If you're willing to put in that extra work and enjoy it, you can't just do the work and hate it. You got to do the work and actually enjoy it. Amy, do I look like I'm having fun 99% of the time?
No. No, you were struggling with your machine today.
Oh, that's different. I'm not talking about when stuff breaks
down.
I
mean, you're happy. You always have a coffee in your hand.
That makes you
me too. So, yeah.
My point is, okay, let me ask you a different way.
Okay.
I go through. There's a lot of chaos. I do a lot of different things. Do you think I enjoy all this?
Yeah, and it's odd that you enjoy that.
There you go. When things are
because it would
really
drive
hard,
most people crazy.
when things
He
are
enjoys the
really
chaos.
hard, when things are like
Yeah.
looking so bleak and looking like, oh shit, this is the bottom. Do I look like I'm still enjoying it?
I don't know. You just always say it's all good problems. All good problems to have.
See, that's a good attitude in business. That's huge.
Absolutely.
We
'cause
wrote
here's
it
the thing-
down on a board.
That's one of the things that drives you forward on that, to keep going on it and go, okay, this is all for a reason.
Listen, there's no doubt in adversity, there's always opportunity. So if you're in business for yourself and things get really hard and you're faced with adversity, let's talk about tariffs for a second. Everybody's heard me talk about tariffs, but it's like there's an opportunity in there somewhere for me to come out the other side on top. Like, how do I figure it out? Everybody else is struggling. They're just sitting around doing nothing. Maybe they're going to like back off on their marketing budget, or they're going to stop doing videos, or they can't get this, they can't get it. Let's go. It's free. Okay. Well, they're going to slow down. We're going to speed up.
We'll figure it out. Right?
We'll figure it out. Absolutely.
Yep.
And I love that kind of stuff, and I thrive off of it. I don't know. I guess I'm weird, but that's the fun part for me. That's the part I think I'm good at.
Making it work takes a little longer. Bacon at work or dates.
What was that?
We always sing that at work. Is making it work takes a little longer, and though it occasionally gets changed to bacon at work, and then I was like, or on dates, and yeah, that's where that came. Anyway, so yeah.
Like 3 levels of whatever that joke was supposed to be, and I didn't understand the first level, not letting the second level.
It's a
the third one came
song.
in.
You've never heard that song?
You Canadians are weird. Okay,
That's
next question.
not a Canadian song.
It's not a Midwest song.
Although I heard people singing that for years at work, and so for people that don't know, I do HVAC work. But so I had heard.
I changed my filter. I'm telling you.
I'm so proud of you, Corey.
Thanks.
But I heard guys singing that all the time whenever we, had to make something work. And then eventually one time it came on the radio and I'm like, that's an actual song. And everyone's like, yes, we didn't make this up. And I'm like, oh man, I thought that everyone was just, pulling my leg for all these years. Anyways.
Good
times. The Kentucky HVAC guys don't sing that.
It's not a country song.
No, it is not actually.
That's funny. Brian, what do you do? What do you do, man?
I do quality assurance management for crane manufacturing.
Okay.
Heavy equipment.
It's Doug and the Slugs, by the way, making it work.
Doug and the Slugs. No, heavy equipment.
Nice.
We make cranes.
Right. Hey, I like that. I always wanted to learn to operate a crane. It just always looks intriguing to me. Like, I think I would enjoy that for a while.
I think you'd probably enjoy it for like 15 20 minutes. It gets kind of
probably
repetitive.
Just to be like,
it's up and
I've
down.
done that. That's no big deal.
I don't think I would like it because I get dizzy just looking up at stuff. At my age,
it's a trip. You look up at those booms up in the air and the clouds moving, but you're not. It can make you dizzy and make you fall.
They have like cameras that they use for like. Is there any of those cranes have like maybe cameras pointing at the things they're picking up, or does anything automated? But anything with? He just gave up my question. He's like, nope, I'm out. He's like,
forget it.
He's like, that question was stupid.
I'm out. See ya.
Wait. Wait.
Hey, I'm back.
Oh, okay, I'm back.
So yeah,
there we go.
Okay.
So yeah, there's cameras for driving, reverse. There's cameras on the winches. I went away, didn't I?
You did. It looked like you gave up. You were like, this question sucks. I'm out.
My bad. I didn't mean to chad you.
Oh, it's yeah.
I done chatted myself.
I would admit that you chad yourself on.
Oh my goodness, that was so good. All right,
there's like 10 people watching this, man. It's fine.
I was just kidding.
All right, well, we're almost done. We're near the end here, so I do want to ask one more question. Before I do that, you guys have any questions you want to throw in the mix real quick before I ask the last one?
I had one.
I've got one random one for goat's milk, just to see if anybody calls him Ghost Mule anymore.
Most people on my channel still call me Ghost Mule.
We haven't infected them yet. We need to make sure that in every video we are correcting them on the pronunciation of it. It's not Ghost Mule. It's pronounced Goat's Milk. Yes.
But
how do you milk a ghost?
I think it might
April
change.
Fool's Day next year, we're going to contact your entire family and have them all call you goat's milk for a day. Just give me
Okay.
a
We need
heads
to
up.
make it some new
I have a
clothing
funny
line or
story on
something.
that.
Go ahead, Devin.
So here's a funny story. So one of the guys that I used to work with, his name is Gary. And so people would leave reviews whenever we would do work at their house, and they'd be like, hey, you know, the technician, whoever did a great job, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So at one point, someone put Gary in quotation marks, did a great job. And we're like, why is that in quotation marks? As if his name was, the technician Gary. Yeah. So from there, we saw the review, and there's a group of us that we all have like a text chat together, and we're like, we were sharing that around. And so whenever we would go to a house and work on it, you put your name, the date, whatever you did there as well. So whenever we started going to a place where Gary was, we would always add quotation marks to Gary. And so at one point, the customer caught me doing that. And they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, okay. So I explained the story to them, and they're like, that's hilarious. And I'm like, yeah. So if you ever see Gary again, if you could like leave a review and say that Gary was super helpful. So I was there diagnosing their furnace, and it needed a part. And then so the guy that came back to fix it was Gary. And so when Gary came back to fix it, they ratted on me, and they told them, he told Gary what I had said. And so instead of that, they left the review and put my name in quotation marks. So I occasionally still get pictures from my helper who works at a different company, and he'll come across something with Gary's name on it, and he'll put quotation marks on it for me. So this has been like 5 or 6 years going with this joke. So good time. Sorry.
Nice.
Did you say sorry?
Goat's milk. Yeah. So, sorry.
Sorry. So you're obviously Canadian. Everybody knows it at this point, right?
What?
So I think everybody knows.
I didn't notice.
Hilltop
that makes-
Hacks, Canadian edition.
I was thinking about that.
Oh yeah.
What are you talking about?
About the
Bootin' and
goats.
bootin' around the hoose.
Whenever Devin got married, what state did you get married in? What was it?
Confusion. Oh,
No. Was it Maryland?
Maryland.
So okay, I rode a motorcycle to Maryland, and I got there, and I was probably maybe 5-10 minutes away, and all of a sudden I hit all these roundabouts. And there's like a bunch of them to get to where they were getting married at. I'm on the motorcycle, and I hate roundabouts to begin with, and I'm on the motorcycle. But in my mind, I kept thinking roundabout, roundabout. I wonder how Devin would say roundabout. I'm saying this in my helmet, roundabout. Yeah. So in my mind, I was like, this is gonna be a hilarious joke when I get there. I was like, wait a minute, he's gonna think I'm an asshole. I can't say that to his face.
You absolutely can, and in a roundabout way, it was pretty funny.
Yeah. So whenever I met him, I did bring it up. I was like, I was gonna say this, but I'm not gonna say it. But this is what I was gonna say, and I think I did tell you. And you're like, well, this is how I would say it. But the funniest thing is, you flipped it on me because you went full on Canadian and talked for like 3 minutes straight in the thickest Canadian accent you could think of, and that was way funnier than anything I was gonna do. So it was great.
Man, you never go full Canadian.
He went full Canadian.
You went full Canadian. That's a big.
You went full Canadian. It was okay. Just do it real quick. Just do your little spiel. And
I don't know. I'd really have to try, and it really doesn't come out genuinely. I kind of have to put on this because I mean this isn't really how I talk, honestly. But there definitely is more of a Canadian accent if I'm talking to some of my buddies back home there, where we play a couple games of stick puck on the Zamboni, and great times.
It's
Full Canadian.
full Canadian.
Never go full Canadian.
Never go full Canadian. All right, guys. Last question. I'm gonna ask real quick, and then we're gonna end it right there. So we've been doing this live stream now for 13 episodes. We're gonna do one more next week. We're probably gonna take a month off because I have a couple weeks I'm gonna miss. Devin has a week he's gonna miss, and you already know we can't count on Chad. And we don't want to leave Tim by himself. We don't want to do that.
That'd be an interesting episode, though.
Yeah. So we'll make it.
You should just have the live stream run one night, and it's just a picture of Tim the whole time. There's just no one on there but Tim.
That's right.
Just so everybody's in on it. If this live stream ever ends up on April Fool's Day, that is 100% going to happen. Okay.
There you go.
We're all in on it.
Go.
Okay.
It goes from kazoos to Tim to kazoos.
Next April's a Wednesday. April 1st is a Wednesday.
Serious?
Serious.
Guys, everybody in the
Destiny.
chat, we're all going to be in on it. Okay. We're all
I'm making a reminder.
And I will be in the chat talking, but it will not be on this live. Okay. Make a note of that. We're going to do it.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Count me in.
Listen, that's how the kazoo
What are the
day
chances of that?
at RGB. This is not a joke. So at RGB, we had like karaoke night on Friday or something like that. I think it was Friday. And then the next day, somebody had commented, "Oh, I didn't come out to karaoke night because you said I couldn't have kazoos." And it was a joke. It was just something stupid. So I saw that. I was like, how funny would it be to have a kazoo day at RGB? I was like, I wonder when kazoo day is. It was that Tuesday. It was going to be like a Tuesday. So we called it Kazoo Day Tuesday or something like that. So I went bought a whole bunch of kazoos on Amazon, and we had a kazoo day on Tuesday. But it just happened to work out perfectly, like this just did. And you guys all heard my kazoo joke, right? In my truck. Did you guys all hear that?
No, I've never heard this joke. Never.
Yes, you did.
If we do that, we have to not tell Tim and then let him like come into the live stream. So it's just like a picture of him doing nothing, and then him trying to figure out why in the hell there's a picture of him doing nothing.
We might have to loop him in on that one. No, the kazoo joke that I thought was funny that no one else thinks is funny. I find very few people actually laugh at this. I thought it was hilarious. So
I think it's hilarious.
Oh, see, I ain't gonna say it again. Amy's already heard
I
it too.
mean, what? No, never.
I don't think you're funny.
Yeah, there you go. I'm not going to embarrass myself again today. Okay, real quick. So what is your favorite thing about these live streams? Doesn't have to be ours. It could be someone else's. But what do you guys get out of this? What do you like about it? Devin, I'm going to go to you first since you've been doing this with me now from the beginning. What do you like about these live streams, either as a host or as a guest? Go.
Absolutely nothing. Existence is pain, and I can't stand it. Every second is just no. It's the people. I love you guys. You guys make me laugh, and you guys are fun to hang out with, talk to, share stories with. It's good to see Brian on here for the first time. It's all the inside jokes, getting to meet Matthew McConaughey, and all of that fun stuff. I don't know. It's just ridiculous, and I can come on here, have fun on a Wednesday, and chat with people, including the people in chat. We love you, Chad. You should come on here, though. Turn your camera on. Do it.
He could be a guest. Chad should be a guest on here sometime.
Yeah.
Should. Absolutely.
You should invite him.
Okay, Corey, someone asked you the same question. What do you like
said
about
chat, by the way, not Chad, but that works too.
I heard Chad. See?
It's all about Chad.
So, Corey, what do you like about these live streams? What do you get out of it? It doesn't have to be ours, but it could be any of these live streams that anybody does. What do you like about it?
No, I enjoy this banter. It's a nice break away from the shop stuff. It's, Wednesday night. What else you got going? I was in here working in the shop a little bit, but I'm like, oh, they got one live going tonight. It's fun to banter with you guys. And I don't know, perspective from other people in the hiking community and the hanging community, whatever. It's a good time for me.
We appreciate you jumping in. Really do. We need more. If only we knew another hammock maker, and quilt maker.
Are you saying that you're gonna, kick him out or something because you've got someone better? Is that
replace it from court with?
So I heard there's a banana hammock guy.
Yeah, until we find another hammock maker, you'll
get that guy on here. That's cool. That's cool.
I will share the picture of the banana hammock in my story if people want to see it. So I will have to find it, but it will be in my story after this.
I'll go look for it.
Amy, so besides how hilarious you think your boss is, what do you like about this? You've been watching the last couple of weeks. I've seen you in there. So what do you like about it?
It's just nice to see other people like you that get to enjoy making things and doing stuff for hiking. They're weird like you. So makes you a little bit more normal.
What are you trying to say?
I don't want to talk to you right now because you're scaring me. No, I enjoy you dressing up every week. It's pretty funny.
Thank you.
But I'm glad Chad's not here because he said moist a lot the last time, and it was very cringeworthy.
You just said it now. You brought it up.
I know.
Actually, someone did say that earlier, and I don't remember who it was. It might have been Amy.
Moist.
No. It wasn't.
Okay, Goat's Milk. What do you moist like about these live streams?
I'm moist about it's moist and the best ever.
Oh. It was Wood All Trails, actually.
I mean, honestly, it just feels like a bunch of hikers sitting around the campfire.
I think I say high schoolers. That's
that too.
Also accurate. But no, it just feels like a bunch of backpackers just sitting around fire.
You did it to yourself, Andy.
Let me know when he puts an order in. He's not getting it.
It was going to come tomorrow, but forget it now.
Door's locked.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Goat Smoke. Before Amy cut you off.
Sorry.
Go again. Go again.
She's good at yelling.
I was just saying, I think it just feels very much like a bunch of backpackers sitting around telling stupid jokes and talking about irrelevant things and, poop stories and saying moist a lot. So, I think it just worked out well.
Good deal.
Also, Tim Buckley.
All right, Brian, since you're the new guy here, what do you like about live streams? This is probably your first one you've ever seen, heard, been on.
I didn't even know this was a thing. Yeah.
What?
Right.
No, I know. Under a
button
rock.
out us.
No, it's a lot of fun.
The biggest thing on the internet.
I know. No, it's a lot of fun to just kind of get to interact with people that a lot of times you end up with this kind of a one-sided relationship. Like, I know more about Ben than he knows about me, obviously, because he puts out content and I've consumed it, and so you just naturally get to know a little bit more about these people. And
remind me to block him later, okay?
He knows too much.
I'm getting a little scared.
No,
Kaylee, if you're watching, we have to move.
If he comes next week with a bald cap on,
I was gonna say, at least he's not dressed up like you.
Cap, dude. I got one.
I think I'm proud more of this episode than ever. Well,
Amazon's going to have a rush on bald caps this week.
That's right.
Dollar General's like, why are we selling out of all these freaking pantyhose? Well, Brian, we really do appreciate you, man. You've been a lot of fun. I appreciate you jumping in. I know we only have like 20 or 30 people every week, but still, it's been a lot of fun for me. And I know Devin's enjoying it. And we keep saying, as long as we have 10 people watching, we're going to keep it going.
I think the campfire analogy was good. I agree with that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yep.
Ben, what do you like about the doing the live stream?
Not a damn thing. And that'll be about it. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye.